Hello guys, welcome back to Piping Engineers. In today's video, we will learn about the types of flanges and pressure ratings. We will see what are the different types of flanges that are used in the industries, what are the types of pressure ratings of which where flanges are available in market, and other different things about the flanges. So guys, for more videos and updates, please like, follow and subscribe to our channel. So let's begin our today's video and learn about the flanges. So guys, what is a flange? You would all have seen flange in your day-to-day life. Basically, a flange is a fitting which is used to connect two or more pipes. So when we want to connect two or more pipes with the help of a temporary joint, we use a flange. The flanges, they may be welded, they may be threaded on the parrot pipes. Both of these flanges, they are joined with the help of these nuts and bolts. Holes are provided on the bodies of the flange, and both of the holes, and in these holes nuts and bolts are inserted and tightened, and hence we get a pipe to pipe joint. So guys, flanges are used where welding of pipes is not possible due to process requirements or maintenance requirement is to be met. So if I consider a case, suppose there is a process in which a lot of sedimentation takes place, in which lot of settling takes place in your pipes. So if we want to clean the pipes, we need to, without the using of flange, there may be chances that we need to cut the pipe. But if we have a flanged joint in that pipe, we can easily open that flange and clean that pipe. So this is one of the basic maintenance purpose also flanges are used. So what are the basic ASME standards that are applicable for flanges? And based on these ASME standards, in these ASME standards, we have flange dimensions, what will be the number of holes, what will be the sizes of the holes, and what will be the thickness of the flanges. So all these essential requirements related to flanges are given in this below mentioned ASME standards. So guys, first standard is your ASME B16.1. So ASME B16.1 is your for gray iron flanges. So if we have a flanges, if you want to select a flange of cast iron, we had to refer this ASME B16.5, 16.1. And if we want to select a mild steel or a cast steel flange up to DN600, we have to refer ASME B16.5. So basically ASME B16.5 is a standard in which steel flanges, details of steel flanges are mentioned, and but it is applicable from DN15 to DN600 for cast steel material. So if we have sizes greater than 600, so we refer ASME B16.47. So large diameter steel flanges applicable from DN650 to DN1500, ASME B16.47 is referred. In these standards, both basic dimensional standards and dimensions of flanges, what will be the thickness of flanges, what will be the number of bolts required, all everything related to flanges, their design criteria mentioned, and their pressure temperature rating is mentioned in these standards. So if we want to select a flange, we can refer these standards and get and select a flange for a desired service. So moving on to next, guys. So what are the pressure temperature ratings of flanges? So while working in an industry, or if you want to if you go in a market to buy a flange, there may be things that people call for. So the thing is that pressure temperature rating, people may ask what is the pressure rating of your flange, what is the rating for which you want a flange. So basically the temperature pressure ratings which are designated and common to the flanges, they are mentioned as class 150, 300, 400, 600, 900, 1500 and 2500. So these are the basic classes of flanges which are available in the market, and based upon these pressure temperature ratings, flanges are selected. So let's see what this pressure temperature rating means. So if you can see this chart is from ASME B16.5. So if you want to select a something for a if you want to select a flange for a particular pressure and temperature, you have to for cast steel materials, we open this ASME B16.5. so there are different materials. If you can see, this is ASTM 105, ASTM 350 grade LF2, 350 LF3, ASTM 216 grade WCB. So these things mentioned here are the material of flanges, and below this we can see here this temperature class. So one is this your temperature. So this line shows the temperature class of the flanges. So this is the temperatures, and corresponding in this horizontal line, this is the pressure, this is the pressure class, or this is the class of the flange. So 150, 300, as I already told you, which is mentioned above. So if you want to select a flange that as per our system requirements, which may have a temperature of 150 degree and pressure below somewhat 20 bar, so we can select this class 150, class 150 flange. So if in other case, if our temperature and pressure increases, so accordingly the class of the flange will also vary. Suppose if our process parameter is of 200 degrees Celsius, and our pressure requirement is say 50 less than 45 bar, so we have to select this class 300, because if we can see in line with temperature 200 degrees Celsius, the flange which can sustain 45 bar is this one. So we have to go for this class 300 bar. So accordingly you can refer this table, and this table is very easy to understand. By referring this table, we can select a desired class for the flange as per the system requirements. So let's move on to our next slide and see what are the different types of flanges. So guys, the different types of flanges that are generally used in industry, the first one is your weld neck flange, slip-on flange, threaded flange, socket weld flange, lap joint flange, and blind flange. So we will be discussing all these flanges in detail in our next slides. So this is your weld neck flange. So basically weld neck flange has a long tapered neck. As its name suggests, this is your long tapered neck which is coming outside from flange body. So what happens is this long tapered neck gets welded with your pipe, and we get the flange connected with our pipe. So what happens in this, as there is a smooth transition from flange thickness to pipe or fitting wall thickness, so there are minimal pressure losses. So the pressure drop in these types of flanges is very less, and for high pressure and high temperature services, generally weld neck flanges are used. So basically in your steam lines or high pressure lines, we generally prefer for weld neck flanges. So this is your weld neck flange. Let's see about the slip flange. So this is your slip-on flange. As the name suggests, this flange slips on your pipe. So the inside diameter of this flange is greater than your outside diameter of the pipe. So as mentioned here, the internal bore size of slip-on flange is larger than the outside diameter of connecting pipe. So basically what happens is, if you can see here, this is your pipe and this is your flange. So this flange has been mounted on the pipe. So as you can see, the pipe body has completely inserted in the flange, and we get two butt joints here. One is this one, and another is in this side, and one is this side, and another in this side. So this is your slip-on flange. So slip-on flange is basically used for low pressure and low temperature application, and this flange is also find a huge application in industry, as for high low temperature and low pressure lines, weld neck slip-on flanges are used. Next one is your threaded flange. As the name suggests, there are threads on this flange. On the inside diameter there are threads. If you can see, this flange is threaded from inside. So we have suppose if we have female threads on inside body of flange, we will be having counter flanges on the pipe body. So these threads, this threaded flange is connected with the help of threads to the pipe, and the pipes generally have male threads and are connected with threads on the flanges. But the main disadvantage, or you can say, this flanges, they generally find their application up to 4 inches. So it's mentioned here 4 inches, but in industry people generally don't go for above DN40. They don't go for threaded flanges. So up to DN32 or DN50 we use threaded flanges, but more than that, people generally prefer either slip-on flanges or weld neck flanges, depending upon the system requirements. So these are used in your utility services and water lines, where welding of pipes is not done due to explosive environment. So this is the application of threaded flanges, guys. So moving on to next. Next is your socket weld flange. Socket weld flanges are used to connect pipes using a single weld joint. If you can see, there is a socket type curvature inside your pipe. So the pipe generally doesn't go fully inside your flange, but there is there is a restriction, and this restriction is known as your socket. So if you can see here, the pipe can go up to this much area only. So as per SME 13.31.1, a socket weld flange connection is done as the pipe shall be first inserted in the socket of the flange until it reaches bottom of the flange. Then it should be lifted by 1.6 mm and finally welded. So this is for your socket weld flange. But there are problems of corrosion, as there may be chances if your pipe doesn't reaches your end part of the socket. So there may be chances that there is a gap between socket and your pipe insertion, so the fluid may get entrapped in that portion and there may be chances of corrosion in that area. So this is one of the disadvantages of socket weld flange. So while getting a connection with socket weld flange, we have to make sure that our pipe gets tightly inserted inside the flange. So next is our lap joint flange. Lap joint flange have two components. One is your stub end and another is and a loose blanking flange. So stub end is a butt welded to the pipe and backing flange freely moves over the pipe. So if you can see, this is your stubbed end. This will be welded with the pipe, and this portion is a free portion which moves and get bolted with the another pipe. So lap flanges is used where frequent dismantling is required and space is constrained. So this is the advantage of your lap joint flange. Last but not the least, guys, blind flange. So blind flanges are used where we want a termination of our pipes. So if we have a network termination and we wanted our network to be terminated here, so you go for blind flanges. So their primary function is to seal the pipeline at the end. So if you can see, this blind flange is solid throughout its curvature, and it has solid body, and bolts are placed as for the design of other flanges. So the blind flanges are used when we want the termination of the network. So guys, I hope in today's video you would have seen the different types of flanges. What are the types of which standards do we follow for these types of flanges to select the flanges, and what is the pressure temperature rating, and how pressure temperature rating for a particular flange is selected. So guys, for more videos and updates, please like, follow and subscribe to our channel. So thank you for watching the video, guys. Thanks a lot.